All right, y'all. Tonight we got Geraldo from out of Texas that opened his school, and he opened it pretty fast. But I'm not going to take up a lot of time because I want to hear from you, Geraldo. We interview our school owners every Wednesday. We do this to inspire them because somebody's going to hear your story on not just that you opened the school, but how you grew up as a kid, things that you had to go through to get to where you are today. And that's going to inspire some people. Then we post these on YouTube. So let's start out from your childhood, Geraldo. Tell us how that was, the good, the bad, the ugly. Let's go.
So I was born in South Texas. Here in South Texas, it's still in the United States, but we're along the border. So there's a lot of crime, a lot of smuggling, a whole bunch of bad stuff. So there wasn't too many opportunities out here where I came up with. I started cutting hair early on when I was 12 years old, found a passion for it, decided that this is what I wanted to do in life. All my friends were slanging dope, crossing illegal immigrants. I just stuck to my craft, cut hair all the way throughout high school, built up a little barber shop in my backyard, decided to stick with it. My parents wanted me to go to college. I told them I knew what I was doing. They thought I was crazy, but I just stuck to it. I finally got out of high school, got my barber license. I worked for a whole year. I sacrificed eating nothing but ramen noodles and sandwiches, stacked up, I would say a minimum of 10, 15 grand. And I threw it all back into building a barber shop. Now it was a small barber shop. It wasn't nothing extravagant. It wasn't nothing that you would say to you'd be really proud of. But I was proud of it because it took a lot to get there. Now once I got there, I had to throw myself into the fire. I didn't know anything about taxes. I didn't know about how to run a business. I kind of just kept struggling, going through it, and I've been working behind the chair since. So, leading up to today, I just opened my barber school about a week ago, and things happened so quick.
What
Like
made you open a barber? When did you start thinking about opening a barber school?
I started thinking about opening a barber school because in my community there's not many opportunities, and a lot of kids would come up to me and ask me, "How can I work in your shop?" Because I built up my small little shop into a state-of-the-art 15 chair facility, and it was popping every day. I got clientele, and they look up to me, see me making good money, having a good living, and I wanted to give them the same opportunity that I didn't have when I was a child. So I wanted to find a way to pave the way for the youngsters in my community in order for them to have that chance to do something else. Because where I'm from, there isn't much. It's a really small city, and that led up to me wanting to open the school. So I reached out to a Millionaire Barber. I needed a little bit of guidance, and I'll tell you what, that's the best $2,000, $3,000 I ever spent because I would get stuck. I would go back to the program. I would see he had everything there laid out. If I needed a question, I would message him. He would answer right back. And it took a couple months, but finally got it up and running. I invested countless of thousands of dollars to be able to make it open. Once it was open, the best thing ever happened. The city that I'm from, the mayor, all this, the top dogs in the city came by. They said they like what I was doing with the community, and they're offering me a contract with my local high school. So that's a really great opportunity that gives me instant credibility.
So when you told people that you were going to open a school, what were they saying to you?
When I would tell them to open a school, they really didn't. They asked me why you're doing so good at the shop, but they didn't see what I was going through on my day-to-day basis. I was cutting hair from 8 in the morning to 12 at night, every day, every day, every day, and that burns you out after a while. And I'm barely 26 years old, so I couldn't imagine myself doing that for another 10, 15, 20 years.
So you're 26 years old and
Yes,
you
sir.
cut hair from 8 in the morning to sometimes 12 at night.
Yes, sir.
How would you feel when you got home?
I would have no energy, and it was just you just kind of get in a slump where you burn yourself out, but your books are booked up, which is great. But you lose that motivation and that love, that passion that you really have for your craft, because you're just sacrificing a lot of, you have no social life, you sacrifice holidays, you have no family time, you're just stuck behind the chair taking care of your clients, which it's a blessing to be booked all the time, but now it's a bigger blessing to have a school, be able to take some time off the chair and kind of guide the people in my community that are going to something similar and to doing something better with themselves. Because not only can I just teach them how to cut hair, I could teach them how to be professionals, how to manage their finances, so on and so forth.
Now, when you were eating them ramen noodles and sacrificing, saving your money, why didn't you go buy like that nice necklace you got on? Why weren't you buying stuff like that with your money? Why didn't you do that? Because most people in the world, we all make money, but we will waste it. So what gave you the discipline, even at that age, to have that much sense?
So it just by trial and error. Like I said, I threw myself into the fire, started making money, and I did. The first thing I did, I bought a nice car, bought a sports car, and then I started getting other bills like, oh, now I'm living by myself and all this. I was leaving no money for myself to invest. And when tax season came around, that's when I really got into a pickle. So I had to figure that out as well. So I learned that, got rid of the nice car, got rid of the fancy clothes. I just stuck to being humble, staying low to the earth, and saving up as much as I can to reach my end goal, which was to be more than I already was, because I wasn't satisfied. I had already thought, at first, I thought I had reached a level that was great. But soon after I experienced the nice cars and all that, it's you don't need all that. All you need is something to get from point A to point B, and you just got to plan ahead and focus on the bigger picture.
Now, what about all your other friends?
Oh, my other friends, they all got nice trucks and they're out there working in the oil field, or they're slanging dope. They're doing stuff that is benefiting in the short term, but in the long term, they really have no future.
Now, tell us about when you were a kid. Your household. How was that? Your parents and that upbringing.
I mean, I didn't grow up poor, but I was in the middle class, really conservative. And a lot of the times, things that I wanted, my parents couldn't really afford. So that's what really caused me to want to make money and buy all those nice things. But when I soon realized that it was kind of setting me back in terms of the future, I stopped doing that.
Now, how did you hear about my program?
On your program, well, I had seen your video. Your hair was kind of falling off. You're in a vehicle, and that really caught my attention. So I started digging into it. And at first, I had seen it early on when I was a little bit younger, when I had that Corvette and stuff, and I was like, nah, I don't really need that. But then, as later on, as I started seeing how things really were, I went back to it and I really researched into it, saw your YouTube videos, saw the program you were offering. I saw that it wasn't too easy to open a school. There's a lot of paperwork involved, the curriculums, the lesson plans, all the paperwork, calculating refunds, the academic evaluation progress, all those things I saw that were in your program. So I'm like, okay, this is definitely worth the money that he's charging.
Because you got the starter program.
Yes, sir.
To help you get started. And you're in Texas.
Yes, sir.
And Texas is one of the easier states to open a school. Now, can you dig into, because we got a lot of people on here that are thinking about getting a school. We got some people that got schools on here. We got some people that are scratching their head wondering if I'm a scam or if the program's real or does it work. We have people that want to open a school and they scared. They're afraid. So can you talk a little bit about that, all of that?
So at the beginning, you will be scared. there's no reason for you not to be scared. It's something that you don't know, that you're not informed about. But you get the program, you start seeing, you start getting empowering yourself with the knowledge. And as long as you don't give up and keep going through it, it'll be the best decision you ever make, because everything's there for you. Fill in the blank. And if you need any questions to be asked, you just ask Chin. And every time I would ask him, I would get stuck on something. I would understand something. I would message him, call him, and he would tell me, okay, well, yeah, we'll fix this. He would send me a different set of papers, or he'll introduce me to someone in my area with a similar situation. And it really would help out a lot.
Now, somebody that says, well, I'm just going to continue to work in the shop, what would you tell them?
I mean, if you're complacent, and if you think that's the end of your career and you think you have more potential, you should just go out on a limb and try it out. There's nothing wrong with trying it out. Even if you fail, it's gonna be a calculated risk. The thing I like to say is, you miss every shot you don't take. So if the opportunity is there, you have someone giving you all the paperwork, giving you the knowledge in order for you to open your own school, why not take it? What's the worst that could happen? You'll be set back a little bit, but every error in life you do is not really an error. It's a lesson. You know, no mistakes in life, only lessons.
How do you feel about people that have been working behind that chair 20, 30, 40 years?
I mean, I love this. I love cutting hair, and I still cut hair even with the school. But after a while, you're gonna get burnt out. You're gonna sacrifice a lot. There's a lot of things more important. You get consumed with your job. If you have kids, you're gonna spend less time with your kids. You have family, you're gonna spend less time with your family. Now with the school, it gives you the flexibility to do more, because on school, you're not gonna have to be there from Sunday to Sunday to make that ends meet. And the school, you could just be working Monday through Friday, kicking back in your desk, showing the students the lesson plans, empowering them, educating them, and you'll still be making a great living.
Now, let's talk about leading up to the school. Talk about from when you got in your car and you started looking for a building. Take us through that whole process.
So I had already gone through this process before when I first wanted to open my shop. At first, I was looking at the cheapest place I could buy or whatever I could afford. I had to have this much money to invest. I got to make the most out of it. So through that, from opening my shop, I kind of already had the experience to look for a commercial property that would be good for the school. So I went around town. I checked out different rates for rent, see which landlords would be the most flexible, see which ones would give me a little bit of leeway. That, hey, opening a school takes a while. Can you help me out with the rent for at least a couple months? And actually, Chin goes into that in the program as well. So you gotta have a plan. You gotta have your finances set. Okay, this is my budget. You gotta look for the right building that's gonna meet the right requirements, and you gotta just go head first into it.
Okay, so you found the building that you wanted.
Yes, sir.
All right, and then what did you do? When you went inside the building before you signed the lease, tell them what you were looking for.
I was looking for adequate space, enough space to build a classroom, enough space to have a practical area, and just add little stuff. I have a little room with a podium on it where I could do hands-on training as well. So I was just looking for something that's right off the highway with a lot of traffic, where it's easily visible, with a lot of space that will really catch the attention of people, with a good parking area as well. Also, with a good monthly rent payment, of course.
Okay, so you signed the lease.
I signed the lease.
What did you do after you signed the lease?
After I signed the lease, I got to work. I got to
What did
work.
you do?
I went into the program. I looked at all the papers I required. I ended up fixing them up. I stacked them together, sent them to the state, hope for the best. And it wouldn't have been as easy as it was if I didn't have the program, because no, you're not going to be able to just come up with a curriculum or all the paperwork that's needed at the top of your head. So it was a really good resource to have that. And it happened quick, like Chin said. I would have still been struggling with some questions if I wouldn't have that program, to be honest.
How long did it take you to get open?
So I signed the lease in February of this year, and it took me about 3-4 months, and I was up and running already. And mind you that it takes about a month and a half to get approved from the state.
Now, so when you signed the lease, when you went into the building, tell us about the cosmetic work, the build out from start to finish, what you did first, then you did this, like the plumbing, electrical, equipment, because we got a lot of ladies on here too, and they're not really, you know, builders or whatever.
Yeah, so I went in there and I just saw the space, the condition that the building was in, and there was a building that was already kind of set up for it, but the monthly rent was a lot higher. So I went in there, I called my team of contractors, they remodeled the building. I did a sketch that I needed a classroom, I needed it separated from the practical room, and I invested thousands of dollars. I went into my savings, the money that I've been saving, working, sacrificing, living below my means for. I used that and went all in.
Okay, now, tell us about the day before your school opened. How was you feeling that night, knowing that you had to go to school the next day to face these students?
So you're gonna get nervous. I got nervous. I was super nervous, but I was excited at the same time. I was ready for it. Every time I would get nervous, I would just think about all the stuff I had to invest in, all the time I put into it, and I wasn't gonna let it go to waste. So I went in there and gave them my best attitude possible, and just spoke from my heart to these students. And when you do that, I feel like you build a better connection with them, which is good for the business because they start respecting you. You let them know your credentials in the industry. You've been doing it for this long. I'm a Johnny B educator, so I invested in my education as well. I flew out there to Los Angeles about 2 years ago, and I would always be the type of guy to get stage fright. And that helped me push myself to do classes. I would do CE classes for Johnny B. I went to LA, Connecticut. I was out there in Las Vegas in big conventions. I just went to all these places where I could just gather knowledge up and apply it into the school that I was already planning on opening.
All right. When the contractors went in, what were some of the things that they did?
They put up walls. They changed outlets. They changed light fixtures. They put in a new AC unit. They built my stations how I wanted them. They did all the woodwork, all the plumbing, all the electrical. They had to do it brand new. For first and foremost, to get the occupancy of permit from the city. So I actually got approved from the state before I got approved from the city. So those are two obstacles that I had to overcome. But you just got to find a good team of contractors that are fair in pricing and are willing to work with you in order to make your vision come through. Because first they came in there, I told them I need this, this, and that. I drew it in a piece of paper, scribbles and all. Told them this is where I need the classroom, this is where I need the practical area, this is where I need my student barber stations. And they put it together into 3D rendering, which was really easy for me to go into the bank and show them, hey, this is what I'm trying to do. These are my projected incomes. And I was able to get that loan a lot quicker, opposed to me showing up empty-handed and telling them, hey, I need so much money, but they don't even know what I'm trying to create. And I'm not showing them an example of my vision.
Okay, now, When you got open, what did your family members and friends say?
Oh, everyone's happy. Everyone was proud of me.
Did you have any doubters?
I did have a lot of doubters. They thought I
Tell
was
us about that part.
They thought I was out of my mind. Like, why are you putting so much time into this? Investing into this building that's not even yours. What are you doing? You're doing good as a barber. You're making a great living. I just decided to ignore them because they didn't see what I was seeing.
Now, tell everybody your IG.
My IG,
Yeah, what's your Instagram page?
my Instagram page is Fades Barber Studio.
How you spell it? Okay, so Fades Barber Studio,
I don't know if you got to see that.
the black and white, right?
It's FADEZ Barber Studio.
FADEZ Barber Studio. And it's got a picture of you, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm gonna go to this page and I want you to kind of talk about some of the pictures so they can see your work. And you can tell me to stop anytime you want to talk about something.
On this one right here, the one where I'm wearing shades.
Right here.
Yeah, so that was when I fully remodeled the
Hey,
shop.
Barber Studio, located at.
Go ahead and talk.
So that's when I remodeled my shop at first. So that this was February of last year. I had just moved in there, and in my old shop, I currently had built it up to 6 barbers, but I decided I needed more chairs, so I built 14 of them, and I bought the property where I was originally renting at and remodeled it, which was a great investment because I bought the property for a certain amount, and once I did the remodel, once I got the equity for it, as soon as I did the investment, and I already had equity on my investment. As soon as I did it, just because of the property value, they sold it to me with already the standing building in there. All I had to do was remodel it, and it's worth about triple of what I invested into it before even opening it. But now it's got a full-fledged team of barbers in there working hard every day.
So you're getting paid from that, right?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Tell us about this picture.
That was when I did the grand opening for that shop.
Okay. Who are these people on here?
So those are like city officials, my family members, and my team of barbers.
Okay, I'm scrolling. You tell me when to stop.
You stop right there where it says Johnny B on the stage. So that one. Okay, so that was the stage they first put me on when I flew back from Los Angeles when I had gone to be a Johnny B educator. And I was super nervous because I had a sea of people looking at me doing my work, and I had never experienced that before. But once I got that done and got passed through it, I figured out that, oh, this is something that's doable. If I could do this on a big stage, people like concert type stuff going on, they got the logo in the back and everything. I knew that the next step would be, okay, if I get enough of this experience, I'll break through my little shell and be able to teach classes in my own school.
All right. You tell me when to stop.
You can stop right here with the gentleman holding a mirror like this to the back.
That
So that was my first shop. I had built it up. It was a very confined space. I somehow was.
it was a little shop, wasn't it?
Yeah, I somehow managed to fit in 6 to 8 barbers in there. But that was the first building I was talking about that I invested my initial 15,000 into, and I grew it into a 200,000 a year business.
How old were you when you got your first shop?
I was 20 years old.
20. Tell me when to stop.
right here where the ladder's at. So that's that shop before I remodeled it. I put my 10-15,000 into it. It was a little hole in the wall. But again, I was looking for the cheapest rent. That way I could remodel it and make the most out of it. Because once you do that first initial investment, if your rent's low, your overhead's going to be a lot lower, and you're able to be in business longer and be able to build yourself for a longer period of time. I believe that's after a year.
Mm-hmm.
And that's that Corvette I'm talking about. That I got it.
You was cool
Yeah.
on this picture. So how did you feel selling that Corvette?
I feel great taking off a $1,800 payment off my back.
It was $1,800 a month.
Yes, sir. I knew I could be putting that into better use.
Mm-hmm. You can tell me when to stop.
You can stop right there. So the gentleman with the red hair.
With the red hair, right?
Yeah.
That?
Yeah. So that's when I was cutting hair in my house. I was about 17, 18 years old. And I kind of made a little barber shop in my room. And that's where it begun. Started gaining experience off of that. And
How much was that haircut?
oh man, that haircut, I charged them fade and beard. I charged them about $15, $20. Right now, fade and beard, I charge $50 to $60 depending on how they want the beard lined up, or if they want me to style their hair, do a fade or a gentleman's cut. So the prices have gone up.
Mm-hmm. Tell us where to stop.
You can stop right there. That's Rob the Original.
Of the original?
So at first I started investing in myself by going to these seminars. These guys are teaching classes, and I really look up to these Instagram guys. And I would go out there and learn a lot. That way I would come back to my city and be ahead of the game. So what I've learned over the years is the more you know, the more you're gonna make, because you stay on top of your game and you'll start earning more than your peers that are just complacent in the area they're in. Maybe they're the top dog in their shop, but if they get out there and go to barber battle or something, they'll soon find out that there's people working harder than them that have a higher skill level, which will motivate you to be even better.
Mm-hmm. The more you learn, the more you earn.
Yes, sir.
Tell us when, is that another one at your house?
Yeah, those are all my house cuts. I was like 17, 18 years old at that time.
What did you, is that a phone taking the video? Is this a phone videotaping that?
Yeah.
What kind of phone?
Oh man, I don't even remember. Like 10 megapixels.
Yeah, you had a lot of cuts at your house.
Oh, those was actually at the shop that I worked at for a year. The ones in the barber shop.
These?
And yeah, those I had gone out there to Roosters. That was my first job right after barber college. That's where I managed to stack up my first 10, 15 grand after eating that ramen noodles and sandwiches.
Mm-hmm.
Those are all house cuts.
Mm-hmm. You got the video of the school?
Not on there. I have a separate page.
Where's that other page?
I don't know if the Instagram is up and running for that yet, but it is on TikTok.
Let me go to TikTok. All right, I'm on TikTok. Tell us where to go.
Let me.
So everybody that watches this video, this interview, this should really inspire you all. I mean, all that Geraldo has done at an early age, what he's done, how he sacrificed, this should really inspire you all to let you all know that it can be done. So this has been really good. I'm glad you shared all this, Geraldo. All right.
Yes, sir.
All right, so go on and give us a narrate this. This is the front of the school, right?
Yeah, that's the front of the school.
I'm trying to play it. I don't know why I won't play. Yeah, for some reason it's not playing. I really want them to see the inside of this school. Turn vehicle off for this. Yes, let me see something. Go back here. Yeah, don't want to play for us. I really want them to see this. So hold on.
So it's right off the highway. That's entrance to the school. Right there, I have my little office, my reception area, and I have the stations for the students. They are double-sided. I did that in order to save some space. I got my shampoo bowls all over there to the left. That is my theory room. Made that as spacious as possible because I want to fit it up as many students as I can. And there I have cubbies for every student and a little podium. And there I'm showing you guys the kit. Comes with Johnny B backpack, Johnny B tool pouch. It comes with a Code B and aftershave and the state-of-the-art clippers, the best in the market, the tool mat, the work apron, all the cutting combs, and everything that they really need to start their career.
Let me look at that again. They need to see this again.
And again, that's just the bottom of the building. I have access to the upstairs as well. So I'm planning on using that square footage to expand it just in case the school grows. So I also thought about it and I got that location because it has the opportunity to make it even bigger.
Now, how does it feel to be a school owner?
Um,
How do you feel?
I feel good. I feel good that I got it approved. I have it up and running. I got students in there. I'm about to get that contract for school. It feels great. It is a little stressful, but I mean, nothing good comes easy.
Mm-hmm. Now this is my first time seeing you. But I talked to you on the phone quite a few times. Yeah. So when you got ready to get the program, did you have any second thoughts or doubts or what?
When I was first getting your program,
Yeah.
when I was first getting your program, I was kind of thinking about it. I was thinking it hard. I was like, oh man, that's about $2,000-3,000 out of my pocket. And then at the end of the day, I was like, you know what? Probably worth it. I'm gonna take the risk because, like I said earlier, you miss all the shots you don't take. And if I didn't take that shot, I would have never been able to create that because you really broke it down step by step. Also, how to have all the paperwork in handy. You explained how to run the school, how to look for your building, how to project your expenses, how to be able to get a loan. You explained all that in there, which is really, really valuable information.
So you went through the business plan too.
Yeah, I was looking through their videos. I went through them. I make sure to watch I made sure to get every cent that I could out of my investment, you know?
So what were you thinking when you were in that back portal with all that stuff?
I'm like, and this guy's probably rich. This guy knows what he's talking about for sure.
Well, my mentor was making over $1 million a month.
Oh,
She opened her schools. You're 26. When I opened my school, I was 26.
okay, nice.
Mm-hmm. Then
Yeah,
3 years.
I saw that you were in jail and that
Yeah.
you wanted to open your school. I mean, like I said,
Yeah.
nothing comes easy, but if you have the right mentor, you get through anything. And that's really what you're getting with this program. You're getting your step-by-step files that you need to set into the state, and you're getting a mentor on the side, which is invaluable. Because all the years of experience, all the hardship that you went through, you kind of just broke it down to us in the little program.
Yeah, we that starter program, because we have a bronze, which they get more attention and more stuff, and then we have a gold where we just lay everything out. But the starter program, we created that for people just to help them get started,
Yeah,
to get open. And then once they're ready to move to the next level, maybe VA money, the government money, vocational rehabilitation, accreditation, then those are higher programs. So a lot of people will see this, and if they just need to get open and get started, the starter program is a good program. If they need more attention, more help, the bronze program, if they plan on getting accredited, they definitely need to get the bronze or more, whatever. But I'm proud of you. You keep up the great work, and you're going to inspire. You don't inspire a lot of people, but now you're going to inspire even more people. And even when people watch this video, because I put this on YouTube, and they're going to be sitting there watching, and they probably going to go to your Instagram and stalk and say, well, darn, this guy. Now tell them how old you are.
I'm 26 years old.
What year were you born?
1996.
1996. I graduated from high school in 1989.
Oh man. Yeah, I mean, I am young, but I just never let up on the gas pedal. You know, I did a lot of errors, but I learned from them, and I'm still not done learning. Like you said, you got more tiers to your program. Right now, I got my foot in the door. I will be looking into the accreditation process and all that soon as well. That's all the learning process for me, but I will get it done. I will get it done.
Yeah, you're gonna get it done. Now, Gerardo, what would you say to the people that want to open a school or get in the program, or the people that's on here listening? What advice or encouragement would you give them?
I mean, you gotta go for it. If there's something that you really want to do, don't let anything stop you. If you're scared to get the program, I mean, it's a small investment for a long time return. It's like you could teach what's that saying? You could teach someone, you could catch a fish for someone, you could teach them how to fish for a lifetime, you know?
Yeah. I mean, well, when I got in Miss Velma's program back in 1998, I got in a gold program 25 years ago. I invested $20,000. That's what the gold program was, 20,000, 25 years ago, which is probably like, I don't know, 100,000 in today's terms.
Yeah.
You do a payment plan, but that investment brought me my freedom. Yeah, it brought me, I got over 20 billion in government funding. I was able to buy real estate 20 something years ago and make even more, whatever, but it brought freedom and it brought experiences. See, that's something that you can't get back as experiences. Your mom still living?
Yes.
So you'll be able to take care of her. Once you get that accreditation, doing all that, you'll be able to do whatever you want. Them Corvettes, you can buy as many Corvettes as you want. You probably get a Lamborghini. I don't know. What kind of car you gonna get once that money starts?
Oh no, right now I'm saving up for my next goal. I'm gonna run an expansion in my shop because there's gonna be a higher demand for those chairs. So I'm gonna fill up those chairs and I'm gonna buy the property that the school's at, so I don't have to worry about a landlord. And I know it's gonna be a great investment once I already have a high earning income business on that. And I could just use the equity on my current shop to give the down payment for any of that.
That's smart thinking. When I got my school, when I got accredited, I was living in my mama's bedroom. I was making over $1 million a year at that time, and I was still living in her bedroom, my bedroom that I grew up in her house, driving a Toyota Camry. So if you all live like your friends won't live for a couple of years, you'll live like they can't live the rest of your life. So you better buy whatever you want, mansions, whatever it is that you want. So I'm proud of you. Keep up the great work. What's your theme song? I always leave the guests with whatever their hype theme song is. Now tell us that again, Gerardo. How many students do you have?
So I started pre-enrollments last week. I'm gonna start classes on Monday, and I currently have 18 students enrolled, and I'm working on a contract with my local high school so they could have it as an elective. They'll be able to choose it as their elective, their 8th and 9th period, and the school will bus the students to my school, and they'll be able to complete their hours and end their day there. So the student body is about 700 students, and in my community, they're all interested. That's the thing that's going on right now. They want to be barbers. So as soon as they see they could choose barbering as an elective, I know I'm gonna get 50, 75, 80. So I'm gonna have to hire more instructors and use the top of the building. And that's for sure. Because as soon as the school year starts, I'm gonna go in there and give them a presentation. They already know me. My shop has a good reputation. And I'm sure I'm gonna get a lot of kids in the door, especially if the school's paying for them.
Now, them 18 students, what type of marketing did you do to get those students?
Marketing, I kind of just did the ribbon cutting with the mayor and all that, and it kind of just blew up because my shop's pretty popular. So I decided to name the school the same as the brand that I had already built, and it got me instant recognition as a barber school.
Okay, how much is your tuition?
Tuition right now, I started off at 7,500 for the tuition, and I'm selling a kit that's 1,200. That was the kit you saw in the video.
They got some, they got some professional tools. They can take them tools, them to some professionals.
Yeah, they'll be ready to go and start their careers with that. They got everything they need in that kit, and that's the point of it. You know, I want my school to be held to that standard. Like, hey, you go there, you're not gonna get some Amazon Chinese clippers. You're gonna get the best in the market. You're gonna get the best education possible. And since I was working with Johnny B, they give me the resources where I could Zoom call educator from a different region, and they will show them techniques and stuff that is not in our area.
Now with the high schools, they'll pay for them students to go to your school, won't they?
Yeah, so right now I'm working on a contract. So I did that 7,500, 1,200 for the kid with $150 enrollment fee, which comes out to 8,850. But with the school, it's in a bigger level because they're gonna be paying for the school's tuition. So I increased it to $10,000 a student if they get me 10 students. Now, if they give me 20 students, I'm gonna leave it at 9,500.
And that's with the high school, right?
Yes.
Okay. And who's gonna pay you, the high school or who?
The school district.
School district, yeah. Okay. All right. Well, y'all got it from Gerardo. Now, hey, we're gonna hear his theme song.